That's great. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sergio Breña. I'm the Associate Department Head in the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering. I would like to welcome our CEE graduating class, their families, and other guests to the CEE undergraduate graduation celebration and department award ceremony. The people you see on the screen, if you go through all the pictures, are most, if not all, of the faculty members in CEE and the great staff we're so lucky to have to help us run the department. Before we begin this event, I'd like to thank two of our staff members who were essential in organizing the event, and you see them on your screens, Amy Feliciano and Jody Ozdarski. Amy spent a lot of time setting up the webinar, preparing the nice presentation you were just watching, and spent countless number of communications between students, faculty, and staff. So thank you, Amy. Jody, as well, as always, she spent a lot of time sending communications, surveys, reminders, information collecting. So I would like to you to join me to thank them for preparing this event for all of us. Thank you. Every year, the Civil and Environmental Engineering Department has an event to celebrate the conclusion of the academic year, where members of our Civil and CEE community are recognized. This year, since we don't have the opportunity to celebrate in person with our graduates, we thought we would take the opportunity to recognize our graduating seniors in this event. With that said, I would like to introduce our department head, Dr. John Tobiason, who will be saying a few words and will be introducing several of our speakers today. John?
Thank you, Sergio. And I'm hoping the screen that's showing here is the agenda for the meeting. Is that correct? Yeah, great. So one quick housekeeping note, and I'll echo Sergio's thanks to our staff for preparing this. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, Amy. Is on Zoom, those are your attendees. You can either look at one person or the whole group, and you all probably know that very well by now, but we'll be going in and out of share screen mode as well for some speakers. So it's my great pleasure to start our event with introducing and having a few words of congratulations from the Dean, Sanjay Raman of the College of Engineering. Dean Raman is a professor in electrical computer engineering and began his career here in August of 2019. And he, like me, we quickly transitioned to pandemic mode, and we're looking forward to not having that in the future. So with that, I'm gonna stop sharing and hand it over to Dean Raman for a few remarks.
Thank you so much, John, and thank you to the whole civil and environmental engineering community for allowing me to say a few words at your celebration event here. As John indicated, relatively new to the College of Engineering and at UMass Amherst, and joined shortly before the pandemic, and so I really haven't had a real graduation yet. So I'm certainly looking forward to the day when we're gonna be back to normal. But regrettably, your class has faced an incredibly challenging year plus here since March of 2020. Having to deal with pivoting to remote learning, many restrictions, having to work from home or work, in non-ideal environments, not necessarily having all the hands-on laboratories and things like that that you deserve and need as part of your engineering education. But you powered through. You've been resilient. You've been you persevered, and you've gotten to this point, and I really just couldn't be prouder of you. You've been successful under extraordinarily challenging circumstances, and it's just inspirational to see you all reach this point. Certainly, I really want to thank the civil and environmental engineering faculty and staff and graduate student instructors, TAs, and everybody who's contributed to the research and education mission for the department and for the college. Many of these folks, while they have been supporting you in your education and research pursuits have been dealing with all these same challenges themselves on the home front, and having kids at home and homeschooling their kids, and not necessarily having available childcare and all sorts of home healthcare situations. Not the ideal from the point of view of being faculty, instructors, or staff either. And we've all persevered together. I think the light is at the end of the tunnel, but I just really want to thank and give a shout out to everybody in the department who has supported this class and the classes that are coming up after you all. Just can't be prouder of all of you. In particular, I want to note, and I think probably you'll hear about it a little bit later in the program, but civil and environmental engineering has been quite well represented in the teaching awards and recognitions for the college this year. 2 outstanding teaching awards, Kara Peterman and Sanjay Arwadi, both for civil and environmental engineering, and Mark Gauthier, who supports the water laboratory and a lot of the teaching and research functions in that laboratory, and supports student activities. Really great showing by CEE this year, just wanted to give a shout out to you all. I am, obviously we're all sorry that we couldn't do this event in person, and wish we could be all together on campus and celebrate it in the traditional way that we have in the past. But I do look forward to seeing many of you at the in-person graduation ceremony tomorrow afternoon at the stadium. It'll certainly be my first opportunity to do a quote unquote real graduation at UMass Amherst, and I'm really looking forward to presenting the degree candidates in civil environmental engineering and the whole College of Engineering to the provost and to the chancellor for the conferral of their degrees tomorrow. So really looking forward to that. Hope to see many of you there. If for those of you who are not able to join us on campus for that tomorrow, I really hope that we will have an opportunity to recognize you and celebrate with you at some future date. I know there's some discussion about some events around the homecoming week this coming fall that some of you may be able to come back for. And we do, obviously then or at any time, please, come back to campus and visit us. I would like to encourage you all to see your graduation here. Obviously an important life milestone, incredible achievement, particularly under these conditions, as not the end of a journey, but as the beginning of a journey. I think we are all lifelong learners. We're going to continue to learn and adapt as new technologies and new challenges appear on the horizon. The pandemic is just one of them, and civil environmental engineering has done its part in contributing to help solutions to, in particular, detecting pandemics and detecting future disease outbreaks through using water treatment measurements. So there's really just incredible work going on across the college that's going to help contribute to these grand challenges we're facing as a society. And you all have been incredibly well prepared to go forward and tackle those challenges. But it is a lifelong process, and you're going to continue to learn new things and to face new challenges and face them head on with the confidence that you have the skill set that you've developed here as civil and environmental engineering students at UMass Amherst, and that will carry you forward well. And come back and tell us about your experiences. Share what you are learning in the real world, because that'll help us adapt our education and research portfolios to better serve the next generation and keep innovating and keep improving as we move forward. So again, congratulations. I can't be prouder of this class. You have faced so much and fought through so much, and are coming through this with flying colors and going forward to make great contributions in industry, academia, and government. And I look forward to seeing you in person, hopefully tomorrow or at some point in the future. Best wishes to you all. Thank you to your families for all the support and encouragement, and particularly this year. And go Hokie, or go UMass. I slipped up there, so go UMass. Thank you again, John.
Thank you, Dean Rahman. Really appreciate you joining us. And I did email the class this morning indicating that I thought you'd see them tomorrow, so in person. So thank you for confirming that, and it'll be great. And the
Okay,
weather's
thank you again
good.
for sharing a moment with me.
Well, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. So, okay. Thanks a lot. We appreciate it. I'm going to go back to taking over the screen here, and before I'm going to launch into some of the many, and they've already been mentioned, previously announced awards that our department has been benefited from this year, and not our department, but really the individuals in our department have made that possible. And I'll say a few more things at different times throughout this presentation. So I wanted to remind you of a few things that have been announced already. Dean Rahman mentioned our College of Engineering Outstanding Teaching Awards. There's 5 departments and there's 2 awards for the whole college. And this year, both awards went to our faculties, Sanjay Rawade and Kara Peterman. So congratulations to them on these awards reflecting their teaching abilities. We really appreciate that. Also, 2 faculty in the college are identified for their outstanding overall contributions as faculty members. And this year, one of the junior faculty award went to our own Colin Gleason. And for that, we're very appreciative, and congratulations, Colin, on that award. Also announced, as Dean Rahman mentioned, he didn't quite get the technical area quite there, but Mark Gauthier, who works as a technician and lab manager in our structural engineering labs, Gunnis, Brack, sometimes in Marston, and who I had the pleasure of seeing in person out front of Marston Hall today with Dr. Peterman celebrating some early celebrations of graduating people. It's great to see Mark outside today, and we really appreciate all that he contributes to your education and to all that we do. Also, I want to mention that in the area amongst faculty themselves, faculty get mentored by each other, and Dr. Nodler, Mike Nodler, was recognized as an advanced faculty peer member. The advanced program that Dr. Brenier is a PI in advocates for increasing the representativeness, the diversity, equity, and inclusion in the STEM fields at our university that we participate in. So Dr. Nodler again represents the whole college in this award. Following on last year, Dr. Butler receiving this award. So our faculty are very well represented here. And something going ahead is one of our newest faculty members, Jessica Boecki, is a lecturer in our department, and is next year will be representing us as a TIDE, Teaching for Inclusiveness, Diversity, and Equity Ambassador Award. So we're looking forward to that contribution. And also, there are other awards that were announced as well. These are some that I wanted to point out to you. On the student side, we also got an award. Graduate student Cielo Sharkis was recognized for her contributions in diversity, equity, and inclusion. And Cielo is completing a master's this year and is an ongoing PhD student in our group. So congratulations to all those awardees that were previously announced. I now have the pleasure, department head, we have a few internal awards that I will kick off as department head that haven't been announced to anybody, but only me knows this. So, and I don't even know if the recipients are participating today, but I get the pleasure of announcing these awards. And they are in the areas of what we do, research, teaching, and service. And these are internal awards from our department, and also sometimes with some external input. So the first one I want to mention is in the area of research. And this year, I've decided that this award will go to Dr. Simos Gerasimidis, who, in recognition of his honor as an NSF Career Award winner, which is a very special award. A grant that we given. Dr. Gerasimidis began the work on this actually already in February, and I think, in fact, one of our graduates may be working with him as a PhD student. Aiden will continue here at UMass in that regard. So congratulations, CMOS. I didn't know if you were on the able to join us today, but congratulations, CMOS, on this award. Another award that I get to announce is the Service Award. I'm looking at his face, I want to give this award, recognize the efforts of Dr. Scott Sivian this past year, taking on the chair of a brand new committee in leading and discussing and taking on challenges of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and also for his incredible teaching abilities, which have been recognized for many ways. But I know in particular in these times, he's taken special care to reach out to individual students to help them navigate this very, very trying circumstances. So Scott, thank you for all you do for the department, as always, very much appreciated. So, and then finally, we have a teaching award, and a teaching award that actually we reach out to alumni and get input about. And I'm going to announce one winner, but it's really difficult. One winner this year to recognize, but it's really difficult. In fact, we reach out and over 15 different faculty were identified by our alumni as they should all receive the award. So it's not like one or two people stand out necessarily, precipitously. My point to you is that I think we have a department of all great teachers, and this year, based on the alumni input, I'm very happy to give this award to Dr. Emily Kumpel, assistant professor in our environmental and water resources engineering, who is identified by alumni as a particularly strong teacher. So congratulations, Emily, and you're on this. So we appreciate it. And like I say, 15 people got identified. So there's a lot of input from our alumni. And now I'm going to turn this over to the ASE student chapter, because every year they announce some awards. So I'll leave that to our speaker there to unmute themselves and take over the discussion at this point. And I will turn the slide appropriately.
Thank you very much, Professor. Hello, everybody. My name is Gerardo Aguilar. I am the Vice President of the ASCE chapter currently. As Dr. Tobias mentioned, we do have some awards to give out. We, amongst the e-board of the student chapter, we have identified some members of our civil engineering community that we believe have done an excellent job at keeping us together during this self-quarantining, isolated period. We really appreciate, obviously it wasn't easy. There are a lot of professors, a lot of faculty, a lot of students that shine under their own light. But we believe that there's a big consensus across the board for the people that we have chosen. And so the first award that we would like to announce is the Staff Award. And I think very much unsurprisingly, Jody Ozdarsky, you are incredible. Just personally, we have talked for so many hours about so many things, just trying to have my career together. And I'm sure there's a shared experience among other students of the incredible job that you do for us. So yeah, without any hesitation, thank you very much. The next award is the Faculty Award, and we would like to give that to Professor Nick Tucker. We know you are a very young addition to the team, yet it's incredible how many students, honestly, it's no surprise to the faculty that students talk about their preferences for their favorite professors. And you are, quite honestly, I've never heard anything bad about you. Your effort to always communicate with your students, make the classes enjoyable, and give everybody the chance to learn and participate. It is really something that every student that has had you is really, they take it home with them. So thank you very much for that. And lastly, the last award is a student award, and we would like to give that to our graduating senior, Caleb Farnham. He was during this academic year, he was the president of the UMass ASE chapter. He, as you know, internally in ASE, he was always trying to get the team together to perform activities and have our meetings going and everything. And obviously what we do as a student chapter is really helpful to other students professionally and academically. And if it wasn't for having a leader like him, like we wouldn't be able to provide those opportunities. So thank you very much, Caleb. Best of luck. I really hope you're incredibly talented students. So I hope you have the best of luck out there in the field. So yeah, that was our short presentation. Again, thank you everybody, and yeah, hope you have a wonderful rest of the ceremony.
Well, thank you, Gerardo. Really appreciate that presentation of these outstanding members of our CEE community and recognizing them for all they contribute. Really appreciate that. Next, I'd like to turn the sort of podium over to Dr. Breña to introduce some short presentations by a few members of our community as well. So, Sergio?
Sure, thank you, John, and congratulations to all the people that have received awards. So it's not surprising that I'm going to be introducing some of the same names you've already heard. And this is because as Jody sent out a poll asking if students, graduating students, would like to hear from some people in the department, their words of wisdom or departure comments, or however you want to call them, and the same names surface over and over again. So I'm going to introduce the three categories of speakers. First, there's going to be a speaker representing staff. That person is Jody Ozdarsky, who is our CE academic advisor. And I'm going to take, just to avoid going back and forth, I'm going to introduce also the faculty speaker is going to be Nick Tucker, professor of practice that you've heard he just received an award. And the last couple of speakers are going to be the student speakers who were selected in the polls, and they are Aiden Provost and Tom Roberts, who are going to be speaking to you as peer students. So with that, I would just like to turn it over to Jody to say a few words to the graduating class. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Even though I wish we could do this in person, it is nice that we could celebrate virtually to recognize our wonderful students, faculty, and staff. For those students who will be back in the fall, I look forward to seeing you all in person. For those who are graduating, it has been my pleasure to get to know and work with such a great group of talented and resilient students. I'm very proud of you all and wish you the best as you move on to the next stage of your journey. Please keep in touch, and I hope to see you back at UMass at a future civil engineering career fair as an alum of the civil engineering program. Thanks, and go UMass.
All right, thank you, Jody. So next up is Nick Tucker. Oh, I see him in the middle of my screen.
All right, thank you all so much. Wow, you made it, congratulations. Oh, you should be so proud of yourselves. We are all very proud of you for being so resilient. It was a tough year. We all know it was a tough year. But one of the things that I really love about working with students, working with you all, is that you don't know what's not possible, right? You all just see possibility everywhere you go, and I love that about you. And I think that has helped you all be so resilient and really tackle this last year. We have students who were studying, like I would open up a breakout room, and a random breakout room, and go in and visit and happen to see two people who were sitting on the couch next to each other in the same random breakout room. But then we also had students who were, coming in and taking classes while living in the West Bank. So we had students all over the place, and you're all going great places too, right? We have people going to grad school, and we have people going into private industry and working for the public sector. In Baltimore and Boston and Colorado and Westfield, and it's just like, it's amazing all of the things that you all have accomplished together. And I just want to say from all of us that we're really proud of you.
All right, thank you, Nick, for those nice words. The West Bank and all around the world, it seems like our students this year are all around the world. So next up, I think I don't know who's going to go first, whether it's Aiden or Tom, but let me just turn it over to Aiden just because it's first on my screen, and then why don't you introduce Tom while you're at it. So these are two of your fellow graduating class, and I'm very happy to introduce Aiden Provost. He's not going far. He's staying with us. He's going to continue in grad school with us next semester. So take it away, Aiden.
Thank you so much, Dr. Brenya. And thank you to all the students, the staff and faculty, friends and family of the CE department that are here with us today. I do want to say that this speech is probably one of the easiest things I had to write in my college career because it is composed of memories from my heart and sentiments that I really speak to people every day, like my family, prospective students, and really anyone else that's interested in our discipline. So putting others before oneself is the cornerstone of developing our personal connections and relationships and cultivating a loving and accepting community. And it's really the foundation to our profession as civil and environmental engineers. Our education, our professors, and our mentors in the civil and environmental engineering department have instilled these values in all of us and have led by example. While this is why, and even in times of uncertainty and large transition, such as this past year, that I felt so supported and well educated by our department. And when I recall and discuss my experiences and memories about my time in the CE department at UMass, I always end up talking about the people. The people like Jody, who always made sure we were ready to take on the challenges of every semester through our coursework and the challenges of looking for that first job or internship through our extraordinary career fairs. And the people who taught us the foundation of what it means to be a civil engineer in Engine 111 during our first semester on campus, and the countless other professors, teaching assistants, lab technicians, faculty, and staff who have guided us on this journey. This department has shown time and time again that they want students and the future of our society to be successful. And it always comes back to serving the public. Recalling some of the fondest memories with friends, I remember some of the long study sessions in Du Bois and Leaderly. I also remember those late nights or early mornings working in our rooms or maybe the study spaces in Northeast. While there was definitely a tremendous amount of struggle, there was also overwhelming joy as we went through many homeworks and practice exams, scribbling on whiteboards and trying to reach our goals. But at the end, and especially looking back on it now, those moments were joyful because we were all working together, pushing one another to be better, and ultimately trying to make our world a cleaner and safer and beautiful place. We showed great resilience and strong work ethic as we persevered to finish our college careers. Even during the pandemic, working on homeworks and projects were still feasible, and while not ideal, still allowed us to work together and keep moving forward. We have all different styles and come from all over the world, and all have our own favorite programs or different ways we learn. I'd like to take this moment to say that my co-speaker and one of my team members, Tom Roberts, enjoys graphing in Google Sheets. While I find Excel graphing superior to Google Sheets pretty much in every way, we're still friends and work well together. And while these differences arise, we all as civil and environmental engineers still are able to come together, face common challenges, and succeed together with a common goal, to help one another and to serve the public. And much how, like smiles foster smiles, the CE community fosters care, support, and success in one another. This will and has led to civil and environmental engineers that are and will be caring, supportive, and successful in their designs, their work, and their life. Thank you to everyone in the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering. Thank you to my family, all my friends, and my co-speaker, Tom, who is up next. And finally, congratulations to my fellow classmates as members of the class of 2021. Thank you so much. And I'm going to pass it along to Tom, who is, again, one of my good friends and a great team member, and go UMass.
Thank you very much, Aiden. Thanks for your kind introduction. Hi, everyone. Well, we made it. It is such an honor to speak to you all today, and I'm so proud of us for making it to this virtual commencement. I've met so many wonderful people at UMass, and so many of the students here today inspire me to be a better person. And that includes you, Aiden, even if Bing is your favorite search engine. In reflecting on what these past 4 years have meant to me, especially in the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering, I keep coming back to the idea of critical thinking. So critical thinking is something that needs to be taught. And at UMass, I've recognized that. And I've recognized that our learning is much more about the context than the content. For example, our freshman year, many of us took Engine 111, Intro to Civil and Environmental Engineering. And one component of that course is a pretty big semester project. We had to come up with plans for an apartment complex on Route 9 in Hadley that would be built on Route 9 in Hadley. And we had to consider everything from the foundation of the building to the impact on local traffic, water usage, even the type of soil the building would be built upon. And as a freshman, I had no clue what I was doing. Most of us had no clue, and we weren't expected to know how to do everything in that project. But I definitely had to think about what was going on, so I would call that a success. You fast forward a few years, and last semester, in our required senior seminar, one of the assignments was to help a group of freshmen with their Engine 111 semester project. So I'm helping a group and I'm looking at their semester project, which is very similar to the one I did as a freshman. And I, slowly come to the realization that I now know how to do everything in that project. Like, sure, I learned it slowly over the course of 4 years, but if you handed me the same project again, I could figure it out. And I think that project was brilliant, right? Critical thinking was there from the get-go. And I think that this project is representative of what the department stands for. CEE always gave us enough to succeed, but not so much that the problem was solved for us. And I really want to take a minute to thank the department for that really enriching educational experience. And I'm really happy I'll be staying here another couple of years to get my master's in environmental engineering. To my family watching, thank you very much for supporting me. And to the wonderful staff and faculty, you're the best. And I hope I can see you all again in the fall. And to the graduates, it's been 61 weeks since I've seen most of you in person, and I really wish you all the best. So congratulations and good luck with your future. Thank you.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'm gonna share screen again and just say a quick, this is just an image taken from a recent faculty and staff meeting of a bunch of people smiling at you all. Congratulations. And just wanted to take a moment. I know Dr. Brennan wanted to give a final remark, but if any other faculty panelists wanted to add a remark, I will close things after that. So let me put it out there that way at this moment. So.
I have one thing that I forgot to say. I'm going to be at commencement tomorrow as well. I'll be there volunteering. So please come by and say hi.
Yay. Gotcha. And I want to thank Tom and Aiden and Nick and Jody for your really wonderful words about our department. It's a privilege to work here. I've worked here for 34 years, and it's certainly been a great place to be. I'm parroting Nick here with adding my little graduation hat, since I didn't have one in reality. I'm a frugal civil engineer. I never own these things. I just rent them. But there's these are really free, these things. So, any other faculty or anybody else want to say anything? I'll just give you this moment. I know we've had lots of chances, but appreciate that. I really appreciate the comments from Aiden about, or Tom, excuse me, about our project. And that goes back actually a bunch of years ago. I think Dr. Mike Nogler really had a big impact on what we did in 111 in terms of project work. I want to shout out to him for doing that. So, and others, I do think that the teaching about the context of our problems, and that when you go out In the real world, there's no one or clear answer to how to do anything. And,
John, I'll admit I was a little bit nervous when Tom started talking about the 111 project and which way he was going to go with that, but it looked like it all worked out in the end. So
yes, and I think it was good. Yeah, I think that went in a great direction. And I really appreciate. Well, let's see. Anybody else want to toss in a word? Are we good? I'll just, I guess, end things here. I think we've got to actually, I'll let these words go. I want to thank Amy for the visuals, and when I'm ending, we're gonna play the pomp and circumstance and run your pictures by one last time here. But let me stop sharing and just say a couple things myself. So I think we're back to, are we back to regular view here? What happened? I'm looking at Mike Nodler.
Yes.
All right, we're back. Okay, you got me, good. So again, thank you all for attending. I'll add my words of congratulations of working through this crazy year, and for you seeing, year and a half. It's not what you expected, not what any of us did, but great to interact with you. I miss not getting to see you and be in person with you very much, but don't be scarce. Let us know what you're doing. Some of you will be around to see, but do stay in contact with us. Jody will be reaching out to you for your input on your reflections back on teachers, for example, and your reflections back on your experience here in the department. We take input to guide us moving ahead. So we look forward to that. And I'm really happy that we've got a beautiful day today and a beautiful day tomorrow for, that's what's scheduled for the in-person things that you can do. And with that, I'll just say congratulations one more time, and go UMass. So Amy, thank you again, and maybe you can run that that thing. So thank you all. These are great pictures. I figure we'll run them. They're fun to watch. Hey, congratulations, everybody, again. And actually, that thing reminded me, a shout out to our Steel Bridge team, right? For the New England Regional winning and the competition at the Nationals. So thank you for doing that so well. That's great. And all the other things. And I hope we can have some physical devices in your hands next year and do some of that making, shaking, breaking stuff. So to learn your way along. So again, Amy, thank you for putting that together, and thank you for the contributions of pictures and stuff. Well done. All right, I'm going to say see you later and call this event to an end. Thank you all. Take care.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, graduates. Bye-bye, and awardees.